All right, we are back. All right, I'm the host, the Coffee Break Podcast. We're here. My name is Slim. I'm with Mohammed. You know, my name is actually Mohammed too.
Actually?
Yo, salam alaikum, brother.
Nice to meet you, brother.
Nice
Where
to
you
meet
from?
you. I'm from Somalia, and you?
Syria.
Mashallah. Wow, we have a Muslim brother here with us.
I mean, I was born into Islam, but I'm not very religious. I have to be honest about it.
Hey, your name is Mohammed. That works for me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, Mohammed, the question we have today for people on the streets is, have you ever experienced heartbreak?
Yeah, I think I definitely have, and I think every person has, right? Unless you're like a psychopath. I just think heartbreak is looked at in a way that it shouldn't be looked at, especially for men. So I think trauma builds men. But like, what's your question specific? Is it just, have I experienced heartbreak?
Well, we want to know what the effect it's had on you is and what your kind of enlightenment aspect of it was.
Okay. I kind of like to speak more in general to like help others, but I can also give you my own personal experience.
Yours, yeah.
So I think my first real, like, true heartbreak happened. I'm 27 now, but I think it happened to me when I was, I must have been 21, I think. Yeah, I must have been 21. I was dating this girl. I really liked her. And I remember when we broke up, her reason was she said, I think we have to end this because I feel like you like me more than I like you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How did you take that?
I mean, I took it like a man, I guess, but it definitely hurt.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean,
I can imagine.
Back then, right? Because I really liked the girl.
So from 20, sorry to cut you off, but from 21 to 27, like kind of like give me a description of what you consider to be like the true passion for finding love and for finding a connection with somebody.
Yeah, I can only speak for men because I'm a man. I think the journey for a man and a woman is separate and different. So I think for men, and I don't know what I can say here and what I can't say, but I'm going to try my best to be as inclusive as possible.
Go for it.
So I think for men, I think a man needs to learn how to love a woman. I don't think a man can just, love a woman how he thinks he wants to. I think there has to be strength in the way a man loves, meaning, I don't know how to explain this, man, without going off the rails.
Hey, go off the rails, man. Floor is yours, man. Like,
okay,
to be honest with you, like I get kind of what you're saying, right? Like, there's some sort of leadership aspect, like to be in a relationship, a strong, committed relationship. Speak on that a little.
There's this saying that I heard, and I think it's very true. I think men can genuinely love women unconditionally, but I think women love men under conditions.
Okay.
Right? So I think as a man, when you go into a relationship, you don't want to be like, oh, I love this girl, I want to die for her, etc. You want to go into the relationship thinking of it as like a test trial, as like a test run. Be with the girl 1 month, 2 months. Make sure you're doing your part as a man. Make sure she's doing her part as a woman. No need to fall in love. Treat her as you should a woman, but make sure she's treating you like she should. And give it time. I think how you find a good woman is give it 6 months, give it a year. See that she's consistent with you. So she's checking up on you. She's doing acts of service for you. And you're doing your part as a man. I think a man should provide and protect for his woman, right? But, a lot of men and a lot of women don't come correct, don't do their part. And I think in today's age and society, especially in the West, masculinity is falling. I genuinely think so. And I think that's part of the reason why relationships are not working. So I'm not with or against feminism per se, but I think feminism is turning more into not just giving women their rights, but rather it's hurting the balance of how relationships should be between men and women. I really think so. So, I mean, you can hear this on YouTube, these like red pill communities, all these like dating coaches, these like alpha masculine dating coaches, they say a lot of this, but a lot of what they say is true. As a man, just, focus on yourself, build your body, find something to make money, try to be great, and deal with women, but don't have it be your everything. Don't have it be, okay, I need a woman, I need love, I need sex. If it comes, it comes. And I think as a man, you should take action to get with a woman. Go out, meet people. If you find a girl on the street that you like, approach her respectfully. Don't do some creepy shit. But be okay with letting go and know when to let go and know what to invest in and what not to invest in. A lot of the times men come from a place of scarcity. That's a very famous word in the dating community. And they're just going to like deal with any kind of shit just to have someone. And it's like, no. If you have to deal with shit, it means you haven't raised your value enough to where you can get a woman who won't give you shit.
Very, very well said. Very well said. And to kind of wrap up the conversation here, you're a very enlightened gentleman, I like to think, just a little bit that we've been discussing this, to kind of tie it back to our theme of heartbreak, right? What advice would you have for younger men who are experiencing this in their life for the first time, maybe?
I would say go through more heartbreak, go through more trauma. learn to fight. Do everything you can do that's going to build you. And you really, as men, you get built through pain. So if she left you, it's your fault. I'll say that. If she left you, it's your fault. Maybe she's a bitch. Yeah, maybe she is a bitch. But make it your fault and learn from it. And really, heartbreak just makes you stronger. Don't sit and sulk. Don't be like, oh, how am I going to get her back? What did I do that's wrong? No. Forget all of that. She broke up with you. Think of what you could have done better. Keep grinding. Use that pain, right? Use it to work out. Use it to build a business. Use it, do something with it. Keep delving into relationships. Keep learning. But any of you guys who like sit there and get depressed and sit in a room in the dark, that's not the strategy, man. Heartbreak is supposed to lead you somewhere. So feel the pain, let it sit, but keep doing things. That's what's going to get you out of the pain. That's what's going to make you more immune, or what's going to make you the better version of yourself, who's not going to get heartbroken next time, who's going to learn from their mistakes. So from your mistakes, sorry. So heartbreak is actually necessary. It's great for you. You know, I wish I can get heartbroken at the intensity that I used to get heartbroken at when I was 19. I'm not saying I don't care now, but at this point, it's just like, whatever, man, you know?
You've been through enough to kind of understand, people a little bit better, so you're not in that position.
Yes. But if you do get heartbroken very intensely, that's a blessing. Use that pain.
So, Mohammed, we want to ask you a little bit more about like a more close family friend type of relationship that may have went sour in people's life. Like, what advice do you have for people that experience heartbreak in family and friends?
Yeah, I think a lot of the times people kind of tie blood with, they think just because someone is from your family, is blood related to you, that means they're good for you. That's not always the case. Now, I'm not saying abandon your family. I'm just saying there are times where your own family may not be the best for you. Like, I'm going to give you my own personal experience. So I have a younger brother that I love very much, but we're very different. And I feel like, especially now, I'm going to leave my childhood behind, but especially now, he's back in Croatia, so we're like, there's distance between us, but I try very hard to speak to him, very hard. And I get a response maybe once a week. He stopped talking to me, he stopped talking to my father, and I love the guy, and it hurts me. But a lot of the times you're going to have fallouts with your family, and I wouldn't say let them go, especially your family. What I would say is sometimes you have to learn to love them from afar. Right? So, for example, my brother, he doesn't want to talk to me. I haven't really done anything to him. He just secluded himself. Maybe he's having a hard time. I would say your best strategy is build yourself, become the best version of yourself, so that even if your own family doesn't love you or doesn't want to communicate with you, make yourself a version of yourself where you can be there for them when they need you.
Very
right?
Well said.
So maybe my brother doesn't want to speak to me. Maybe he doesn't want to speak to my father. Maybe he doesn't want to speak to anybody. That's okay. Sometimes I think the strongest form of love is loving someone when they don't love you back. Now you don't want to do this with everybody. I'm sticking to you should probably do this with your family as long as they haven't like stabbed you in the back literally with a knife. Yeah. Some people don't deserve that kind of love, but unconditional love can sometimes be given to your family. So in the case of my brother, okay, you don't want to talk to me, that's fine. I love you and I will always love you, but I will work on myself so that when you're down, let's hope he doesn't become a drug addict, let's hope he doesn't lose all of his money, let's hope he doesn't lose his house. But if that does happen, I'll be there and I'll help you.
Exactly.
So I don't want to go on too long. I don't know how short you want this to be, but I think a lot of people have problems with their family. And I think sometimes you will try to talk to your dad, your mother, your sister, your brother, and sometimes they won't reciprocate that energy. Step back, stay loving, be there for them, but let distance have its effect, and then reintroduce yourself in a new form. Hey, we haven't spoken in a year, or we haven't been as close as we used to be. I thought I'm going to take my distance because you haven't been treating me the way that I think I should be treated. I'm back now. I want to work in this relationship because I love you. Are you going to put in the effort?
I love that. In essence, man, there's no expiration date on unconditional love. So with your family members, just know there will be hard times, as Mohammed just said, but give it time, and give it distance. So you might find some peace in that, Any last words, my friend?
Let me think real quick here.
Yeah.
What heartbreak is worse? Family heartbreak or friendship heartbreak? Or relationship heartbreak?
That's a good one.
Heartbreak or relationship heartbreak?
That's a good one. Let me get that on camera. So the question, the final question we have actually is, what do you think is the worst type of heartbreak or heartache between your family or between a relationship with a woman?
That's a hard one for me to answer because I've never really been super close with my family, right? I think the person that I love the most is my father and probably my brother, but our relationship was always very formal. So I do know if I lost my father, it would take like 3 years off my life where I would be really down. I'm trying to answer your question here.
know, the beauty of life is that even when we're faced with these types of questions and we're looking into our own life, like you said, like we have to experience these things to kind of know for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even the fact that we're kind of pondering this itself is kind of an example of how life kind of throws things at you. You know, so it's good to hold on to the idea and to understand at least what both sides can be.
No, 100%. I'm trying to come up with an answer for you. I just don't want to give you a random one. I mean, I feel like, thankfully, none of my parents have ever abandoned me. So, I don't know. I've always been a very deep lover. So I can only speak for myself. And I feel like breaking up with someone that I truly love probably hurts a lot. But I do know that if I lost my father, it would probably hurt more.
It's a hard thing to weigh, to be honest.
It's a hard thing to weigh. It's actually one of those questions where being binary, 1 or 0, is very hard to give.
Exactly. And I guess we'll leave it at that. Mohammed, once again, thank you for your time, my friend. I appreciate you.